I am someone who identifies as an artist, but I would say that, hi, your creativity is not optional. It's actually a part of being a human being. I believe that we are all capable of creativity in all sorts of different forms. It doesn't necessarily mean just drawing or painting. There are lots of other ways to create things: cooking, problem solving, storytelling, decorating, building ideas, building physical structures, things of that sort. Humans naturally want to create things. Humans create children. There's lots of other ways that prove that creation and creativity is such such a part of our existence. Um, Not to say that one form of creativity is better than the other. It is all just, there's just some form and piece of creativity that is woven into our lives, and is all of our, I think we all have our own unique gifts to bring forth, and we're taught not to express those things. I also think that when you do share your creativity, and you express yourself in that way, there is a little bit of vulnerability that comes with it, because we're so taught to, um, that things have to be a certain way. We're taught, to judge others in, by how good or bad something is, or even in the school systems that really think, something is correct or it's not, and it doesn't leave a lot of room for thinking for anything in between. And so, and I think social media adds to that too. Everybody's just has this idea of like what creativity and art should look like, and then you have these curated feeds and these posts that show, oh, watch me create this thing, and you don't see all of the hours of work that someone has put behind the scenes. You just see the before and after, and then there's this comparison, and then people don't want to even give something a shot because they don't have a realistic idea of what the process actually goes through. And we live in such a society that everybody wants things so instantly, you know. I think that when we don't express ourselves through these creative outlets, whether that be because we were told that, creating art or whatever was a waste of time, or writing was not worth it, and you won't get paid, you'll be a starving artist if you pursue those things. Those little comments that we may have been told, just one time as a kid, may have completely shut off our ability or our desire to pursue that, because we want to be loved, we want to be cared for, we want to do the right thing, and be accepted by other people. And so if that includes shutting off a part of ourselves, then that's what we do to survive. And so that's why I feel like it's so important, as you get older and into adulthood, at least for me, I have found like I have done all of the things. So, I on paper, I followed all of the rules. I did what I was supposed to, and I was still missing something. And I look back to the younger version of myself, the one that just loved to create art, for hours and hours. I would just draw, and I wanted to make up characters, and I wanted to roller skate, and I wanted to sing and dance, and and just for the fun of it, just because, just to express myself, to, like, pretend I am in a music video, or that I'm like, a princess in a movie or something, or in my own story, in my living my own fairy tale fantasy, and when we suppress those things, that's when you start to feel stuck, you feel bored, you feel like there's something missing. And yeah, so that's a reason why it's so important to me to come back to creating, and come back to expressing myself in as many different ways as possible. Like, like I said, I've just I've done all of like the thinking and the how to do it and trying to do things other people's ways, and like it always led to me feeling burnt out or like not, understanding why I wasn't happy with all of the things that other people say, is what you need in life, and like that's the goal, but it wasn't my goal. And um when we continue to move in life trying to reach these goals that were never ours to begin with, like you're just never going to be happy and satisfied. And so there's a lot of deconditioning that needs to happen where you really have to pull back the layers of like, okay, so am I doing this thing because I actually want to, or am I doing it because that's what I heard someone else has said, and that's what it's the only way that I've known to pursue things. And yeah, so I don't know, like, I don't have all of the answers, but I do know that when I do the things, when I reconnect to myself and I do the things that made me happy when I was a kid, the drawing, the making art, the roller skating, the being fun and playful and whimsical and like dressing up in a way that makes me happy and feel cute, um, you know, decorating my house in a way that feels fun and showing up online in this way, like it's all like by design, it's all on purpose, and it feels so much better to move through the world in that way than to just keep going through the same old thing that other people have gone through. And I think for me, not I think, I know for me, my path has always meant to be it was always meant to be different than everyone else's, and it would always reveal itself to me as long as I kept following, the next step that was aligned to me and my purpose. And I know like a lot of people don't understand that, and but maybe if you're one of those people who you just have felt like there was a there was something different, that you were meant to do something different, you were meant to do something more, like I totally get that. And I don't have all the answers. I'm still figuring it out. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share, um, and share with today. The creativity for me is not optional. It is something that is so part of being a human, and living the most creative, fully expressed life is my goal. That's it. That's my purpose in life, and this is one of the ways that I'm doing that is showing up on here like this. So